New Music Discovery Series. Your home for new music discovery.
And there's going to be flutes playing and trombones and flowers and garlands of fresh herbs, and we will dance.
With your host, Brock Tessendori.
Guaranteed best time you can have with your clothes on. Although, it's better with your clothes off.
Section 2, what's up, man?
How you doing, man? Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate it more than I could ever tell you, man. I'm stoked to have you. I was obviously pumped we even got connected, but I've had trophies on repeat the last few days and sent it over to a few buddies, and they're like, "Damn, this is nice."
Wow, anytime I hear anything positive about trophies specifically, it warms my heart. So thank you.
Why trophies specifically?
Just cause that song came to me like really early on. Like when I put that out, like I hadn't really been writing songs for that long. I was still pretty new to it, and trophies kind of took on a life of its own, and I got opportunities that I would have never imagined would come my way as a result of that song. So it's just really full circle for me, that song. So like whenever people say they like it or they enjoy it, it's just like, I don't know. It's it's a little nostalgic too, just because I was like a couple years ago now, and I'm in a completely different place. But yeah, it's always good.
Absolutely, man. It's cool. It's funny you say that was so early in your writing, because the song sounds like it's so, like, the lyrics are so like even the sound of the song is so mature, like you've been doing it for years. So that's pretty amazing, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you so much for hopping on the Music Discovery sessions, and I guess my first question for you, I'm very curious, what's the meaning behind the name Section 2?
So that is that kind of relates back to the beginning. So I was in college. I started making beats when I was like 16. I kind of just like a hobby. And then I got to college and I started taking the whole beat making thing a little bit more seriously. Fast forward to my senior year of college, which is 2018. I decided to just try my hand at songwriting, and the first song that I ever wrote that actually made sense just so happened to be a song called Girls Like Anita, which is the first song on my first EP, Portrait. And I wrote that song and I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Brought it to my best friend and collaborator, Identity Crisis, and we kind of hashed that out, and we just started working on more songs. So we're about like 3 or 4 songs deep. We're starting to see that this could be something, but I don't have a name yet. I'm kind of just making these songs blindly, if you will. And eventually I was just like, I need a name. Started coming up with some things that were pretty bad, honestly. And then Section 2 kind of just popped in my head, and I was like, oh, okay. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. So what I did was I made an Instagram for it before I could change my mind, I guess. I was like, in my head, I was like, like if I make an Instagram for it, like I can't change it, which is dumb because I obviously could have changed it. Like no one was paying attention back then, but that's kind of how I rationalized it in my head. But yeah, I wish there was more of like I wish there was like a better story, but honestly, like that's it. It kind of just like popped into my head one day, and I was like, all right, I don't hate this, so I'll run with it.
Heck yeah, you locked yourself in and you gave yourself no choice. And honestly, when it comes to the not that crazy of stories to make a name, it kind of reminds me of like how, I'm not sure if you've heard how even like Post Malone found his name originally. he went in like a name generator online and just typed in his name, Austin Malone, and it kicked out post. So it's just, so they're not always crazy special, but the name's super catchy, man. It's badass. So, yeah, the moment I saw it, I was like, I went on Spotify and searched, and it's cool too, cause like there's no overlap of name with anyone. You know what I mean? Like if sometimes you go type an artist name. Yeah, exactly. So that's awesome, man. Speaking of like just writing songs, what's your personal favorite song you've ever released and why?
Personal favorite song I've ever released. That's a good question. I think of stuff that's out right now. Honestly, it changes on it, like depending on the day. But I think right now there's a song called "Golden Child" that I released in, I think it was September of 2020, I believe. It was that summer. I had been working on a bunch of music again with my good friend Identity Crisis. We're sitting down one day, we're making a beat, and these words kind of just come to me, and I write this song, Golden Child, in like half an hour maybe, and I knocked out the vocal like usually like when me and Will are writing and kind of formulating ideas, I'll lay like a scratch vocal down and then we'll come back to it and actually record it. But I record like what you hear on the song, like I recorded that day, which doesn't happen a lot.
Damn, that's amazing.
I just knew that there was something special about that song, and just coming out of that summer, it was like the George Floyd stuff was happening, and Breonna Taylor, and just like it, just so much going on in the world. I feel like I kind of captured my viewpoint of it in a really concise and I would just say it was really well put for that time and for what was going on.
Yeah, one of those it just came out very naturally and organic and real, and so it kind of has a little bit of a closer place to your heart, I imagine.
Yeah, for sure. It was like I remember when we finished it, or like when I finished doing the vocals that day, I just had this feeling of like, wow, like this is something special. And honestly, like it hasn't like performed super well like in the grand scheme of my catalog, but like I go back to that song a lot and I listen to it and I'm just like, wow, like something. It's one of those things that, like I listen to it sometimes and I'm like, damn, like I can't believe we made this. Like this is
that's amazing, man. That's really cool. I was scrolling through your TikTok, I think it was, and I saw one of your TikToks, and you were kind of joking around about working a job to support your dreams. I'm curious, what's your day job right now?
So I work at a restaurant. Yeah, I'm kind of just doing that, serving food, making coffee, that whole deal, you know.
Well, hopefully it's not much longer, man, because you got the sound, dude. So I feel like, you know, things are coming your way.
Thank you so much, man. I hope to God.
When I watched the TikTok, I was like, I know he's joking around in this TikTok, but I know there's some realness behind this. He's ready to be done with this shit.
Whew. And it is. But it's I will say though, like I get on TikTok and I joke a lot about my day job, but I am like I'm grateful to have a job that is like super chill, like when I need to take a day off to do like some music stuff, or just super flexible, and like it's not like excruciatingly taxing to where like I can't get off of work and like come home and write a song, or like I have to make TikToks. Like I'm not like so exhausted that like I can't do that stuff. So
yeah, and that's
super grateful.
Yeah, and that's super important too, having that enough energy after you're done with your job to go home and do what you really love. But what's I mean, you're still fairly early in doing music full time, right? Like, I mean, what's it been? 4 years or so.
Yeah, like, I mean, sometimes I think about it and like it feels like a long time, or it doesn't feel that long, just because like 2020 and a little bit of 2021 too, like, were just like weird time periods. Like, I don't even know if I like still consider them like actual years, like in my 20s. but yeah, it's been about 4. Well, I mean, I'd say 3 years, just because like when Portrait came out in May of 2019, so I feel like once that came out, then that's when I really started taking music seriously, I think.
Heck yeah, man, that's incredible. I mean, for to be this, only this far in and have the catalog you already have and the following that you have, that's incredible, dude. And it speaks to the very unique and talented sound you got, dude.
Thank you so much, man. I'm just actively trying to get better, man. I never want to do the same thing twice musically, which is why I'm constantly shape-shifting, trying to expand my sound, and just like I get bored easily, so like I never want listeners to get bored. Like I just want to keep them excited. So
yeah, and speaking of that, I mean, I had a chance to listen to in the last few days Never Nothing and Cascade Effect from top to bottom, and you kind of seamlessly flow from like R&B to hip hop with some like flashes of like funk and lo-fi beats. So I like in listening, I was kind of like I was like thinking in my head, like, who can I like kind of relate him to? I mean, obviously your sound's incredibly unique, so you can't pick anyone perfectly, but it kind of almost I got like hints of like Chris Brown or like Jack James, almost like some anime a little bit, like when you go a little bit more hip hop. But like, who are your biggest inspirations, and who are your biggest inspirations in music?
Yeah, so I'm really big fan of Biggie. Like, I grew up on like listening to Biggie on the radio, and then just like getting older, just like kind of diving into the 2 albums that he put out. He's probably like my favorite rapper. Really big Marvin Gaye fan, Frank Ocean, D'Angelo, James Blake, Kanye West. I'd say like those people, those are like my pillars of music, and I'd probably throw Lauryn Hill in there too. Like those are people that like I point to as like I hold them in very high regard musically.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like if you like took a morph of like all of their styles, that's it kind of delivers what you put out, and it's really amazing that you say that. Yeah, you don't want to make the same thing twice, because every song you listen to from you is completely different. I mean, not completely different, but like it has its own unique delivery, man. It's really cool, and that was the first thing that caught my mind. Going through like your first top 5 songs on Spotify, immediately I could tell, there was some were slower, some were faster, some were a little bit more hip hop based, some were a little bit more R&B. It was really fun to listen to. So I'm very, very stoked got a chance to come across you, man.
Thank you, man. That's the goal, honestly. I want people to go through those first 5 songs on Spotify, and you get something a little bit different each time. I can't, like, I just can't perpetuate the same sounds over and over again. But I feel like sometimes it could be, or I've been told by industry people that it could come off as like a little confusing, me doing a lot of different sounds, but I feel like if you really listen, you can hear the common thread between everything. Like, it's not super left and super right. Like, there is a common ground between all the stuff that I'm doing. So
yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think you nailed that on the head. I definitely there's definitely a common theme between all the songs, even though they do, there is a good variety. But I would agree with you 100%, man. If you could, I always love to ask this question, but do you have one artist right now that if you could have a pick from anyone that's doing music right now, who would you collab with if you had a choice?
If I could collab with anyone right now, I could give two answers. I would probably say a guy by the name of Jordan Ward. He's got like my favorite song in the world right now. It's a song called Lil Baby Crush that like I listen to multiple times every day. That song is just, it's a perfect song. Him and probably Omar Apollo also. I'm a very big fan of Omar Apollo's last album. I would love to see what we could do together. I think with both of those guys, they also do a little bit of everything. There's some R&B, there's some funk, there's some hip hop. It's like a good mesh of a lot of good music. So I feel like I could get with either of those guys and just make something really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll make it happen. But I was actually going to ask why those two dudes, but you just answered it. So that's the money, man. And your latest release was Til The Sun. Tell us a little bit about what inspired the lyrics to that song.
So yeah, actually, so this is last summer. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, and I was playing him some new music, and I was working on what I thought was going to be my album, and I played him like 2 or 3 songs that were on it, and he was just like, yeah, I don't know, man, like it's not really it. And I was like, whoa. Like, okay. Like, I think I had been in a little bit of a bubble around that time. Like, I wasn't really. I mean, I just wasn't seeing a lot of people, and a lot of people weren't really listening to my new stuff. So like, I was kind of just in this world of like, all right, I love this music, it's great, but like I didn't have a lot of outside feedback. So to get this outside feedback that wasn't positive, I was kind of like taken aback a little bit. And I still love those songs, but I could see where he was coming from. So I was like, all right. I was like, okay, I need to sit down and I need to make something that's undeniable. So I'm sitting in the studio, and my boy Identity Crisis, he's like going through some stuff, and that guitar lick came up, and I was like, he skipped it, and I was like, wait, you got to go back to that, because that was insane. I heard it. I heard like 3 seconds of it, and I was like, yeah, we need to load that up. So he made the beat, or like the skeleton of the beat, right in front of me, and I was just like, okay, like it feels really summery. It's got that like 100 BPM like cruising kind of like lay the seat back a little bit like in the wind kind of thing. So I was like, okay. So I started visualizing like a car and like me and this girl, and yeah, I kind of just let my mind go from there. And my end goal was to make just like the catchiest, like stickiest hook that I could. And I actually didn't come up with the hook that day. I wrote the verses, and then I was just like, all right, now I need to like really take my time with this hook, because it needs to be something that's like I get perfect. Like I said before, undeniable. So yeah, like I need like the perfect hook. So took it home. No. Yeah, I was gonna say like I took it home and spent like a week with it, and eventually got the hook that's on there and laid it down, and the rest is history.
That's beautiful, man. It's such a fun song. I actually drove home today. The sun was out. It was perfect, and it hit perfectly on the way home. I was like, this is nice, man. So I think you definitely succeeded in making that hit, dude. So if you're up for it, yeah, man, of course. If you're up for it, I wanted to see if you're down to do a little game called the section 2 second rule. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask you your favorite. I'm gonna ask you your favorite of something, and you have 2 seconds to respond with an answer. Is that all right?
Oh, yeah, that sounds fun.
All right. Here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Favorite cereal?
Granola. I don't eat cereal.
Favorite alcohol?
Tequila.
Favorite pizza spot in New York?
Uncle Tony's in Harlem.
Favorite sports team?
The Knicks.
Favorite candy?
Hershey's Cookies and Cream.
All right. I'm so sorry to hear the Knicks are your team, man.
Whew. Yeah, man. It is a sad existence. I gotta be honest, but hey, we trudge forward.
Hey, you're forever a big time franchise though. But at least you're not like me. You're not a Kings fan.
Ooh, damn, that might be worse than the Knicks. Like that is like perpetual sadness. Like at least like the Knicks made the playoffs 2 years ago. Like, I mean, yeesh.
Yeah, I know. I can't bash on you, man. It's all I know how bad it is. So it's all good. But I appreciate you doing that, man. I know you mentioned you might have a little acapella to perform today. What do you got for us?
Actually, you know what? I think I might do a little bit of the new single acapella.
Perfect. Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, let's see. Let me see. Tint the windows on your Benz, 5%, no one can see you. I know that's how you like 'em, 'cause you told me. No 10 and 2, you like to speed. Said it ain't no thing to me. I listen when you speak, you keep me going, say, put that car in drive. Say, yeah, you're all I need tonight. Say, all I need, road under the tires while we ride. I just want you by my side, if that's alright. Said if that's alright. Let's make it last till the sun. The night is waiting for us, love, until the morning comes. Let's make it last till the sun. No, nothing lasts forever, but when all is said and done. Till the sun, ladies and gentlemen.
Sheesh. Everyone, that's Til The Sun. I know you guys heard us mention that earlier, but please go stream that now if you guys can. That song is an absolute. It's almost the end of summer, but keep streaming that. I think it's an absolute summer vibe. So, thank you for doing that, man. I appreciate you very much.
Sure.
Any upcoming new releases, concerts, anything the listeners should keep on their radar that you have in the works?
So yeah, I've got one more single dropping, and then I've got a project coming out. Hopefully I'll have that this fall. Everything's finished. We're just waiting on a few little things, but we're very close to the release of the next single and the project, so definitely keep an eye on that for sure.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And once that's out, we'll make sure we share it and everything for you on the Newsic pages. I'm so pumped we got a chance.
Man, thank you.
Yeah, dude, I'm so pumped we got a chance to connect, and thank you again for the small sample of Til The Sun, guys. Please go stream that. Like I said before a couple times, man, your sound's incredibly unique. You've got a new diehard fan in me, man, and we'll be with you here for the ride. All right.
Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it. Glad we were able to connect, man. This means a lot, seriously.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it, man.
Of course, man.
Did you you have an awesome time? Did you drink awesome shooters and listen to awesome music and then just sit around and soak up each other's awesomeness?
New Music Discovery Series.